What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here, and welcome back to another LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham news update. Now, this video I'm going to talk about a lot of new content for this game. This game is out of this world now. I mean, when they said Beyond Gotham, they seriously meant it. This game has some incredible additions, which honestly I didn't think would even make it. You know, there's things in this game which I'm really shocked to see, but also extremely happy, because you can tell they are really listening to the community, seeing what they think, you know, what the community wants in the game. If you want that, chances are it's gonna make it, which is amazing. And there's even a thing in there that I really hoped would be in the game, because I've wanted it in a game for so long, and they did it. But more on that later. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so first off, we're going to talk about 1960s Batman and Robin. Now, I'm going to focus more on Batman because Robin, you know, they didn't really show much of him. But also, if you look carefully, you can see Alfred there. Now, Alfred was announced as a playable character, you know, when the game was just announced. But this is a completely different design on him, you know. So maybe we'll get a 1960s Alfred playable. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm going to focus more on Batman in this because, you know, they showed so much of him. And what I find really cool about this the most is that, you know, they announced Adam West. And we were all like, this is so cool. You know, Adam West is playable in LEGO Batman 3. What would be cooler than that is, you know, what if we could place him in a costume, and maybe we could have 1960s Robin, and maybe even missions and vehicles and all these wacky things from the show. Well, they did it. They actually did it, and I'm going to talk about that a lot more soon. But for now, let's get to the first abilities of 1960s Batman. So here we see Batman from the 1960s using his X-ray vision, pretty much. Now, what's interesting to know here is that basically this isn't, you know, a proper technical Batman. You know, he doesn't have all these crazy, really electrical gadgets and things. So basically, for his X-ray vision, he actually uses a magnifying glass, which is just amazing. And it is X-ray vision because you can see in the gameplay, he looks at Robin, and Robin's, you know, just a skeleton. So that's really nice. I always like to see when they do the X-ray visions in the game. And also, there's a stealth element in this one with like characters like Cyborg. So maybe we'll get some 1960s stealth Batman and Robin. That'll be pretty cool. So what we see Adam West's Batman doing here is that he's actually using his grapple hook to pull something down. And we've seen, you know, modern day Batman can of course do this, and there's also other Batman in the game that can do that, but more on that later. So yeah, the grapple hook is used to pull things down, and you can also of course, there's like high platforms you need to get to, and you'll use the grapple hook and you'll, you know, shoot it, it'll hit the thing, and then you'll fly all the way up. So it's really cool to see that. I think the 1960s mission, you know, I like the space missions, but the 1960 missions, they just look so much fun and so traversal and things. I really like them so far. Now this is pretty cool. So with LEGO Batman 2, you know, we all like gliding as Batman. You know, well, to not talk about LEGO Batman 2 just for a second is, you know, the Arkham games. It's so much fun to glide around Arkham City. You know, just flying around. It's amazing. But in the LEGO Batman games, to do something not like that, because you can't really do that in those games, but, you know, to glide at least, you had to get an exact certain suit just to do that. And it felt kind of annoying because, you know, who doesn't want to glide off of, what was it, like Wayne Enterprises building or something? You could do that in LEGO Batman 2, but you needed that suit, and that was kind of annoying. Well, this time round, what they've done is, of course, you got the suit wheel, which is awesome. But now, Batman actually has that anyway, so he can glide regardless of the suit. I don't think the jetpack one can, but any suit that doesn't have a jetpack and that can't fly already, they can glide, which is really cool. And as you can see here, again, 1960s Batman, just looking super cool gliding through the area. So this here is basically in the show, when Batman and Robin attack an enemy or something, it always makes these weird words just pop up and go zoink and blop, and it's crazy, but it's really funny. What's awesome about this though is it's actually in the game, as you can see here. And so when you attack an enemy, which they didn't show, there was no enemies on screen, but I'm pretty sure there will be in other 1960s kind of missions set in the Batman and Robin TV show. But when you attack an enemy or hit an object, it makes these effects on screen, and it's just, you know, this is just so true to the TV show. It's insane. It's like TT Games seem like they're huge fans of it and just wanted to pay a huge tribute not only to Batman from the modern day, but also Batman from the 1960s, and of course Batman in general, but also the entire DC universe, or at least as much as they could put into the game as possible. Now this is pretty cool. Batman actually has a bomb. I think there was an episode once where he did have a bomb, probably. Again, I don't really watch it that much. Well, to be fair, I've never really watched it a lot. Like, I think I've seen like 3 episodes and they were just crazy. But I think the reason I like it now is because it just suits the silliness of Lego Batman. You know, they don't go with the humor of the Lego games. What I think is amazing, what they do, and I don't know how they do it, is they'll make it hilarious. They'll make you laugh, but it'll go so far to not make fun of the actual product. You know, it won't make fun of Batman. It won't make fun of Marvel. You know, all these businesses and characters and things that they've done in the past. It never really feels like they're making fun of it. It feels like they were embracing it and kind of doing like a parody of it, but also being serious about it at the same time. And I think that's amazing. So I think, like, you know, these bombs and things that Batman has from the 1960s TV show, and the thwap and the bop, you know, when they attack enemies, I think it all suits this game perfectly. So this is, I don't really know what to call it. I mean, in the game, I think there's an electrical suit in Lego Batman 3. There was in Lego Batman 2, we all know that, where you could absorb electric, and of course, you could put it back into things to get like a machine working or something. Well, in this game, we haven't seen one yet. There probably will be one announced, but we haven't seen one just yet. However, in the Comic-Con, you know, IGN live stream, they showed this, and this was, I just don't know what to call it. It's like a really retro looking electrical device which absorbs electric and also shoots it out. So that's really cool, and it definitely feels like 1960s Batman is kind of like a combination of all Batman suits but in one. So that's really cool. So they didn't really talk much about Robin, and I'm going to be really quick about this because, yeah, they just didn't mention anything really. They didn't show much of his gameplay. You know, he does the basic things. He can jump, he can attack, he can do all that kind of stuff. But they didn't really show him. They focused more on Adam West's 1960s Batman. But hopefully they show more maybe this week or something. Anyway, what I did want to mention though is that I said that Batman from the 1960s one kind of feels like a combination of all modern day Batman suits but into one. Well, we see Robin here using kind of like the magnet suit abilities where he's climbing like a metal pipe. So maybe that means that Robin is the same, and he has you know, like the illumination suit where he can have a light bulb. I think it'd be really funny to see a 1960s version of that where it's an actual, just a normal light bulb and he's holding it or something. That would be really cool. Alright, so now on to Billy Batson. Now, this is a very different character to what we've seen recently. You know, we've seen that he was in Lego Batman 2 through DLC, but he wasn't... I honestly, I've got to admit, I didn't really like him in Lego Batman 2. He didn't feel very true to the character. This time, they've nailed it. They've absolutely nailed it. Because probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen is that, as you can see here, he's Billy Batson. You know, you can be Billy Batson, you can walk around as, you know, the kid, but you can actually hold down Y and he'll of course say the word Shazam and he'll transform into Shazam, and you know, he can fly, shoot bolts and everything. He does everything Shazam does, but he can actually transform. I know it's a small thing, but I just love how they've added that. And there's another character I'm going to talk about real soon, probably next actually, that does a very similar thing, but it's just amazing because I always love to see when they put these transformations in the Lego games, because they just need more of them, because to me it's just such a cool feature, you know. So here we have little Clark Kent, you know, just normal Clark Kent, just sitting in the 1960s, not doing a thing wrong. But here is the cool thing. So if you'll all remember in my top 10 characters list, I think I mentioned it in this. If I didn't, I've definitely mentioned it many times in the comment section. I wanted basically Clark Kent as a playable character in the game, and he is in the character selection screen. You know, it's not Superman, it's Clark Kent. I wanted that in the game, and I wanted to be able to hold down Y or something, a phone booth would appear maybe, and he would jump in, he'd jump out, and then he'd be Superman. And then I wanted him to jump off screen and come back and be Clark Kent again. You know, just a simple transformation, just for fun, because we've never seen it in a Superman game. It's not fair. I've always wanted to be able to just change on the fly, because it makes you feel more like Superman. Well, they did it. So as you can see here, you know, you've got normal Clark Kent, and then there's the phone booth. You hold down Y, the phone booth appears, and he rips his shirt open, you know, where you see the Superman logo. He jumps inside of the phone booth, he jumps out the phone booth, and then it destroys, and then we see Superman. And of course, you know, he's got all his abilities. He can shoot ice breath, and he can probably blow people away as well. And of course, he's got his heat vision. And then, you know, whenever you want, you can go back to Clark Kent. All you do is hold down Y again, and he will jump off screen, come back, and he's Clark Kent. And I just love that. I cannot wait to play Superman. I think he's probably my most anticipated character now, because that feature, I just didn't think it was going to make it, but they did. They added it to the game, and that just makes me really happy. Alright guys, so this last character I'm going to talk about is Krypto the Superdog. Now there were other characters announced, but they didn't show them, so I'm going to leave that for a... basically there's going to be a screenshot video after this. It's going to show all the new screenshots. Really cool ones, even ones of characters they didn't even show yet, so it's going to be very cool. But yeah, this is Krypto the Superdog, and if you don't know who this is, basically it's a dog with Superman's powers. It's really cool. I actually really remember this character. I think there was a TV show, like a cartoon once I saw on TV, and I saw him and I thought it was really cool. You know, it's a dog with Superman powers. How awesome is that? But I think the best part of a character like this is that they're really showing how far they're going to go. You know, if you've got a character like, I don't know, for example, Shazam. You want Shazam in the game, done. He's going to be in it. And he is, you know. Like I said, Billy Batson, he can transform into Shazam. It's so cool. But then you ask for a character like Krypto the Superdog, and you just think, why are you even bothering to ask that? It's not going to happen. That's what I used to think like until Lego Marvel, and even now I was kind of a bit skeptical when I saw all these comments of people saying, oh, I want this character and this character. I was thinking, these are really cool, but I just don't know if they're going to do it. They're doing it. It's amazing. I'm very impressed with Traveler Tales, and I cannot wait to hear what else they have in store for this amazing game. Now, before I go, there is one last thing I want to talk about, and it is, in fact, it's not a character, but it's very interesting. So basically, when Alfred Parsons was showing off the game, his daughter was changing the level, well, to free play basically, so you could change into any character. And all this, you know, weird text came up, and you know, you don't have to worry about it really because it's not going to be in the full game. However, that's what he said, but it shows a lot of interesting things. So you've got Fortress intro, Fortress A, you know, all these weird things. Then you go to the bottom, it says, this is on the left by the way, it says Game Outro A, Post Credits A, Post Credits B. Now does that mean we're going to get 2 post-credit scenes? That would be really cool. And then of course you got the bonus 60s Batman, blah blah blah. Now, probably my favorite part about this entire list here is if you go to the very far right, you can see DLC Man of Steel. Now this is incredible, because if they've added this as well as the Superman idea that I wanted, I'm just going to be playing this game all the time. It's amazing. So yeah, DLC Man of Steel. We all know there was Lego sets of the Man of Steel movie. Personally, I love that movie. I think it's an incredible movie. I love it. So if we can get just characters from that movie, that would be awesome. However, I think that they are taking the next big step, and DC has allowed them to make possibly missions from that movie just for, you know, Man of Steel Lego movie, you know, that's just amazing. I mean, playing through the Man of Steel movie as Lego versions of the characters, I'm speechless. I mean, if they have added that, I'm going to be very happy. However, what's interesting is, though, that they haven't revealed any pre-order bonuses for any DLC just yet, so maybe they're keeping this under wraps, or maybe what I think they're going to do is they're going to add this at a later date. So this isn't going to be, there's going to be no DLC. This is just what I think. This hasn't been confirmed, but I think there'll be no DLC for pre-order. But then, once the game releases, they'll announce a trailer for this Man of Steel DLC with all these characters, these new missions, and I think it's going to blow people away. That's what I think, but, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I mean, stay tuned for the next video where I'm going to talk about all the brand new screenshots for the game. Some really cool ones there, show some really nice characters. But apart from that, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I think there's going to be another live stream on GameSpot or something, so I could be doing another video talking about the characters they showed there, their abilities and things, but we'll have to just wait and see. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for lots more news on LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham and Disney Infinity 2.0, and as always, please remember to like, comment and subscribe.